Here are 4 more non-woke games: Darkest Dungeon, Frostpunk, Hitman 3, and Remnant from the Ashes.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial.
Darkest Dungeon is a roguelite turn-based RPG. Your ancestor awakened some kind of ancient horror and killed himself in desperation, and you are charged with managing his estate and redeeming your family name. Be warned that this game is extremely brutal, and you are pretty much always at a disadvantage trying to claw victory from the jaws of defeat. Personally, it is the art style, the eldritch motif, along with quirks. Quirks are a quasi-permanent buff or debuff system that can also act as giving character or personalities to your roster of mercenaries. And of course, the narrator, the epic narrator, are the aspects of this game that I find most appealing. The story isn't woke, the characters aren't woke, the mechanics aren't woke. It is important to know that there is a sequel, but personally I hate it. And as it relates to the topic of this video, the mechanics in the sequel, the relationship system, does allow for some alphabet wokeness among your party members.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all.
Frostpunk is a survival city builder. The world is undergoing another ice age, and the frigid climate has regressed civilization to the point where coal is the most valuable resource. You are charged with leading a band of humans to survive in the vast frozen wasteland. The game, well, went to buy the expansions. It's not that expensive, don't worry. But the game has a number of scenarios which chronicle the trials of various expeditions in attempting to adapt to the new climate, along with an endless mode if you want to just engage with the mechanics without a timer. Personally, I find the moral implications and quandaries in the scenarios, along as the gameplay, to be the most engaging. There's a sequel that's coming out, and I hope that they expand on the societal impact of your decisions more in the sequel. The story isn't woke, and there are no real characters to speak of other than the player characters, so no characters are woke. And the moral problems the player will face are more rooted in the form of governance than wokeness. It doesn't impact or isn't centered on the orientation of the people in any way, shape, or form. So that's good.
After decades in the shadows, we are fighting back. Me and 47. Much has been lost, but we are closer than ever. We trapped the Constant, Providence's chief controller, and finally learnt the names of its 3 partners. In their downfall, we lay the past to rest.
Hitman 3, I'm not really sure how to describe this because both action and stealth descriptions seem a bit misleading. I would say it is a third-person premeditated murder simulator. You play as an assassin, Agent 47, as he travels the world neutralizing targets in a number of ways: direct, indirect, or using the environment. The game's replay value comes from the different approaches you can employ in achieving your objectives. I'm pretty sure there are more than just 3 Hitman games. The last one I played was one where the game started with Agent 47 seemingly dead and other characters attending his funeral. Hitman 3's opening isn't anywhere near as creative, it's a more standard affair, but the gameplay and level design are solid. The controls are not the smoothest experience if you're coming from something like Monster Hunter, for example, but they get the job done. The game tries to allow for a more action-oriented or confrontational tactic in some way, But the controls and the level designs better reward careful planning, where you blend into crowds like Jason Bourne, do your set your traps undiscovered and slip out, rather than sneaking around like Sam Fisher or going gun blazing like Terminator. The story isn't woke. The mechanics do not allow for wokeness, of course, because the whole point is to kill people. And though there is a stage where you do have a male fashion designer, and as we all know, they're all
Gay!
What can we do when our last hope fails? That you must discover. Our last hope sailed this sea before you, in search of an end to the beasts that have hunted us for generations. An end was found, or so we thought. But our hero never came home.
Remnant from the Ashes is a third-person looter shooter and is the only game that we can play co-op of these 4 games, online. A mysterious organism has invaded Earth, spawning monsters and corrupting sentient creatures. And you, a traveler, are seeking a way to get rid of these alien invaders. The stars of this game are the bosses, of which there are many optionals that you will not face if you attempt to stick strictly to the story. The game also has a rather varied character progression system, and this allows you to create a wide range of build-around abilities or playstyles. So it really does have a lot of replay value in that regard. The story isn't woke, the mechanics doesn't lend itself to wokeness, and the characters also aren't woke.